Alright, I'm gonna try to show how to do Aztec Beetle Race here. First I'm gonna try to do it properly, and then I'll explain what I'm doing in the subsequent demonstration and what might go wrong. So first thing you want to do is kick, slide, jump, and try to land with another kick slide. So keep holding Z the whole time from the first kick slide. Right here, I'm never going to let go of Z from here until I'm done the trick. Basically until I've got the golden banana. So keep that Z button pressed. We're going to just keep doing these kick, slide, jumps. We're going to slide over the edge. We're going to wait until we've fallen far enough here. We're going to jump out of it. I jumped too low. I waited too long. I will try that one more time. Okay, that looks good. That works. Jump once more there in midair. Get right onto the golden banana. That's good enough. Okay, so now what did I do? Well, for one, I'm utilizing the crouching animation to avoid the fall too far trigger. Normally if you jump over the edge here, which I guess you can't do right there, but normally if you jump over the edge, you'll fall into this, animation that you can't get out of. It'll give you the bad luck and all that stuff. But if you're crouching when you fall over the edge, that won't happen. Now in order to keep crouching, you have to first sort of prevent Tiny from going into the butt sliding, which is the only part of the trick that doesn't work 100% of the time for me, if I know what I'm doing, because I don't really know why it doesn't work sometimes, but just try to get the timing consistent as I can. The next piece is we want to land near the edge with some momentum and crouch out of it so that we get the long slide down. Do a couple more of these. Do that once more on the edge of that pink ramp, and then we're at the bottom. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna go slower, pausing along the way. So, at the beginning, start the kick slide, never let go of Z. So we're gonna kick slide, jump, aerial, and keep holding Z, and then shortly after you land, press B again to do another kick slide. Every time right after you land, just try to do another kick slide shortly after landing. And then just keep looping the kick slide, jump, aerial, kick slide, loop, jump, aerial. You don't always have to aerial. Once you've gotten it started, you can just do a kick slide, jump, but it doesn't hurt to aerial. Although it is good to know that for when you approach the edge, if you need to space your landing, you might want to skip the aerial once or something, depending on how close you are to the edge. When we get down this first piece of ramp, we want to land near the edge without doing any more kick slides. And as long as you keep moving forward, you'll have some, momentum on your landing. You're not going to immediately come to a stop. So right around here, I'm basically gearing up to land near the edge, and I'm still holding Z, so I'll be crouched, but I have a little bit of speed, so I'm going to slide over the edge. Just like that. Okay, now we've begun the falling. While you're descending the slide, the color of the background slowly changes. It starts at red at the very top, and then it cycles through orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, magenta, pinkish, back around to red, and that's down to the bottom. You can use the color as a reference for when you want to jump out of this falling crouch. I look for a bright magenta color. When that color appears that's when I try to jump out, and I want to jump to the left, slightly up left, to land back on the lowest part of the corkscrew of the slide. So I'll try to demonstrate that here. I'm going to hold up left in advance, and then as soon as I see that bright magenta right now, yeah, we got the right spot. So you can see that if I was a little bit higher, I would have landed on the previous part of the corkscrew, but I was low enough that I just stayed underneath that, and I'm going to land on this last sort of green colored piece of slide. And then make sure that you keep moving while you land so you have enough momentum to do your next couple of crouch slide jumps, or kick slide jumps, I mean. So again, as soon as I land, I'm going to press B to keep doing more kick slides and avoid the butt sliding. After one kick slide jump, I'll show when that is. After like one of these, the next one, I'm going to press R to turn the camera around so I can see where I'm going. Now, I'm going to aim to the right side ledge of the slide, and on my next kick slide jump, I'm going to try to land on the edge with a little bit of momentum to carry me off the edge. So this is another sliding crouch over the edge. Just like that. And then here, you don't have to fall very far, and you can pretty much see where you're going. Then you just want to backflip out of that and land down at the end of the course. And then again, as soon as you land, continue with the kick slide jumps. Make sure that you're on this middle part of the end of the slide where it's flat, because if you're on one of the sides, it won't allow you to jump up and grab the golden banana. So you just make sure that you're centered underneath it here so that you can do this jump. And if you're able to pause just on the frame, I didn't get it here, but if you're able to pause just on the frame before you grab the golden banana, or the same frame that you grab the golden banana, you'll be able to skip the dance for it, but I was a little early here, so I didn't get it. I mean, in that case, you would just unpause, let Tiny grab it, and be on your way. But yeah, some things to watch out for here. Well, obviously the beginning is tough. Sometimes that doesn't work. I unfortunately don't have too many suggestions other than try out with different jump and aerial timings and see what tends to work best. One thing to watch out for is, I guess, your positioning on the first slide off. I think if you're too far to the right, like this, then I think you might land on the corkscrew, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you'll land on the higher part of the corkscrew. So that's what happens if you're too far to the right. If you're too far to the left, then you'll be a little further away from the part that you're going to jump back onto. So you might not be able to reach it, I guess. So that's just in terms of positioning the first drop-off point. The next thing I want to talk about is, what if you don't land where you wanted, or if you jump too early out of your, if either you jump too early out of your backflip and land at a higher part of the corkscrew, or if you just fall onto the higher part of the corkscrew because of the bad positioning on the initial slide off, it doesn't mean that you've failed the Beetle Race Skip. You can just get a slightly slower version of the Beetle Race Skip, but it's still faster than doing the slide over again. So I'm gonna intentionally kind of jump early here. Well, okay. If you jump that early, yeah, that's another thing I should have pointed out. If you jump way too early and you don't land by the end of your backflip, you'll get the fall too far trigger, and it'll automatically make you lose. So yeah, you do need to make sure that when you're jumping out of your mid-air falls that you're close enough to land onto something. That also applies for the jump down to the very bottom of the course. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can I don't know. Yeah, so I landed one row too high up, right? I wanted to land on the next one down. And at this point I've stopped moving, so I can't do any more kick slides. All you can do from there is release Z and just slide the rest of the way down. But this is fine. You can do this as a backup. If you don't make it all the way down, you can still do this. Now, when you get to about this coin, this sharp right-hand turn, pull back on the joystick, like all the way. Like hold down, make sure you're going as slow as possible because, yeah, you can very easily go over the edge there. Like, not only you have to slow down as much as possible, but you also have to kind of take the turn wide. It's not too difficult if you get used to it, but you don't have the same amount of maneuverability as you would normally have on this slide. For whatever reason, your slides are like kind of sluggish when you do this glitch. But yeah, there's one other thing I wanted to show here. So let's say I land like up here, but I still have some momentum. I can do another kick slide jump to get down where I want it to be, which is pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, I'll just show what happens if you slide down to the bottom. So I'm going to pull back here, try to get over to the right, and then start turning left as soon as I can, holding down left as much as possible. Yep, and then once you get to the bottom of the slide, you can basically walk normally again. And the finish line won't actually trigger the end of the race, so you can just walk past it, jump and grab the golden banana. And there at the bottom of my screen, see how it says 26 again underneath? That means I've grabbed the golden banana in the pause menu. And you can just exit to level. And I now have the golden banana and skipped its cutscene. So now I've got 27. So that's how that works at the end. I think I hopefully covered everything this time. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. A few other things to watch out for is camera management. Like, you want the camera behind you at the start, so I'm pressing R occasionally to keep it behind me. And then once I land on the bottom of the corkscrew here, I don't want to turn the camera immediately like this, because the game will fight you, and it'll do that. Like, the game just automatically turns the camera around. So that's why I usually wait until after doing one kick slide down to, yeah. I basically wait until I get after that part to turn the camera back around. Otherwise, the game likes to fight you on those camera flips. Just something I thought I'd mention. Oh yeah, again, I just want to point out that if you land not in the middle here, but on one of the sides of the slope, then you won't be able to jump. I'm pressing A and I'm not jumping right now. All you can do from this position is butt slide very slowly back over to the bottom of the course, which hopefully I have enough time to do before the beetle comes down and wins. Yeah, you don't want this to happen. Yeah, unfortunately the beetle's already here, so... But if you go a little further back, it'll, like, get rid of the butt sliding effect and you can walk back over to the GB, but... Yeah, you might as well just restart the race if you've wasted too much time there. Okay, I think that's it for the tutorial.